The economy right now is actually giving way to people to be able to save money, especially because of the whole tariff situation. And so one of the things that you can do to save money, I'm actually here today in Mexicali. I do have a property over here that the refrigerator is actually having some issues, but I decided to go ahead and purchase a freezer to be able to have frozen foods here because it's very important for you to have different spots that you can go to that you can have frozen food available at any time. You want to make sure that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So let me go ahead and show you here. So we have this refrigerator here. It's 4,200 pesos, which is about $200. And so you can see it's a nice basic little white refrigerator. This is the type of inventory that people are running to nowadays. They want to get some used inventory at these spots. You have a refrigerator here as well. This is 4,300 pesos, which is about 200 and something dollars. So you have different spots that you can actually purchase used items. You have these freezers, refrigerators and freezers. So people are running into these situations right now where they are needing to buy used items. And so just like right here in Mexico, you can get good used items for a good fair price. You can actually do it all over the place, even the United States. I do have a property out here that I decided to come and make sure everything was okay. We did find out that the refrigerator was having some issues. So I decided to try to see if I could replace it because that refrigerator, I think I bought it over 5 years ago. So yesterday I went to a place that sells used refrigerators and I paid for it in full. They were supposed to deliver it. Well, the delivery company, somehow they screwed up with the refrigerator and they didn't tie it down correctly. These are things that can happen to anyone. When the delivery person was taking it to the house, it actually tipped over and it fell. So there was an accident with that refrigerator. It didn't get delivered, unfortunately. So we're here today at this area that tends to have a lot of different refrigerators, washers, dryers, which I'm going to go ahead and show you some footage here. And most of the items that you buy here are new. You do have some new used items as well. You know how there's places that sell washers and dryers that probably have small dings here and there. You get a real good discount. But anyways, I did find a good freezer that I ended up purchasing, which they are going to be delivering to the house soon. So anyways, that caught me thinking today and yesterday too as well that a lot of people right now, they are actually starting to buy more used goods in today's economy because of the way things are. I know that with the tariffs now, everything's going to get more expensive as well. So people are starting to get into, they're starting to get into the grind of buying used things. I know that the people that I've talked to that buy and sell storage units and sell used items, they're seeing an uptick in sales. Same thing with people that sell stuff on eBay. But the thing is now what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to start surging those prices as well because since demand is being higher on used items now, more people are going to start buying used items. One of the things that I'm also seeing right now is that there's a lot of businesses that are telling people to uh, buy from them now before the tariffs raise the prices. But in reality, there's a lot of different services and a lot of different goods that are actually not affected by these tariffs. So people are taking advantage of that and fear mongering. They're putting fear into consumers, telling them to be able to spend their hard-earned cash right now on items that they probably don't even need right now, just so they can quote unquote avoid tariffs, which is not necessary. Not everybody is out there to be able to save you money. There's a lot of people out there trying to rip you off. So make sure that if you do buy something that you do need it, don't just go out there buying things that you don't need just because you think that the tariffs are going to make it worse in the future. If you don't need something, don't go purchasing it. I know I have had people ask me these past couple months whether or not it was good for them to go purchase another used vehicle for work or even another new vehicle for work, which things are insanely expensive right now. I always tell people, don't put yourself in debt if you don't need to. There's people that are trying to avoid paying taxes to the IRS, especially after what happened with this last tax season, where a lot of people are owing a lot of money because of record high profits. Just because you have money in the bank and you're doing well, it doesn't mean that you have to go out there and put yourself into debt with another 80, 90, $100,000 truck. Uh, people people are having a hard time right now affording life as is, or people are putting their businesses at risk, um, purchasing another vehicle and financing another vehicle where maybe their equity is going to go ahead and decrease and they're going to have to keep paying $1,500 a month for 7, 8 years. There's people still there's people that are getting into very, very bad situations with their vehicles. They're getting to a point right now where they are actually financing cars and trucks longer than the warranty period. So a lot of people, their first instinct is to go get a brand new car because they don't want to deal with the maintenance. They don't want to deal with the headache of having a used vehicle, of having to go find a local good mechanic to be able to make sure that their vehicle is in good condition. They'd rather buy a brand new vehicle that, unfortunately, a lot of new trucks and a lot of new cars that were made in the last couple of years, they're running into a lot of defects. I have seen several people having to use the limit law to be able to get rid of their vehicles because they were defective. Brand new trucks that are possibly 2, 3 years old or probably even less, that have less than 50,000 miles, their engines are malfunctioning, their transmissions are malfunctioning. There's people that are constantly having to take their vehicles in for service and for maintenance because they're having a lot of issues. And the main reason why these people are buying these brand new cars is because they don't want to put in the time and effort to have a new used car. I myself am a proponent of just buying a cash car, a nice cash car, maybe under $10,000, and taking very good care of it, making sure that every 3 months uh, you get your oil changes done, make sure you get your air filters checked, make sure your tire pressure is always on point, make sure that uh, if you have any leaks, that you take care of them right away. Um, you don't have a car payment, but you have to make sure that anything that the car has wrong, you take care of it immediately because unfortunately, these type of problems can snowball. First, you have an issue where there's a leak. Maybe it can start affecting other engine components or maybe other parts of the transmission. And then your car, before you know it, starts malfunctioning. You have more and more issues, and it can become a very, very expensive repair, especially for someone. If you have a newer vehicle that's maybe a German vehicle, um, those can actually have a lot of problems as well. I've seen a lot of situations where there's people selling Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Volkswagen vehicles that are prone to having a lot of issues, especially electrical gremlins, and people just don't take care of them. And it gets to a point where, unfortunately, maybe they're still making monthly payments on these vehicles. Maybe they're out of warranty, but they can't afford to repair them. And so what happens is people, they stop paying these cars because why are they paying $800 a month on the vehicle if the vehicle um, does not work anymore? They can't take it to work. So then they just abandon the payments and they decide to get the car repoed. So that's be very careful out there. Make sure that, like I said, if you do buy something that you do need it, you could take good care of it. So maybe I'll do some future videos showing the trials and tribulations of how much money I've spent on my cars. Um, so that way you guys can see uh, how much I pay the hourly rate, how much I pay for my parts. Maybe I can even have a mechanic interviewed so that ways you guys can know what to look for to be able to find a good mechanic in your area. Always make sure you have a very good mechanic. Um, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you live. You always want to have someone that you can trust that's not going to gouge you and try to sell you things that you don't need or charge you parts that they didn't even replace, which is very common nowadays. Even in big shops, like there's people that go to these shops like a Firestone or Jiffy Lube or places that are well recognized around the United States, chains, and they still don't do the work as promised, but yet they go and charge people hundreds of dollars for the labor and the parts, and the job doesn't get done. Or possibly they tell people that they replaced the brakes, but they never did it. So there's things that a lot of shady mechanics will do. So like I said, just make sure that you have a very good mechanic on hand at all times. And also, you want to make sure that you find someone trustworthy when it comes to home maintenance as well. Because if you do own your own home, that's one of the places that a lot of money can go to as well. Homes always tend to have a lot of problems. That's why not everybody is fit to be a homeowner, because there's a lot of hidden costs to owning a home versus renting. And so that's another thing that people have to look out for. So don't don't fall victim to financing cars that will have a lot of negative equity, and you will be paying above and beyond the warranty period. Be very, very careful of that. We're going to go ahead and show you some footage here that we captured of some used appliances. I do think that a lot of people are going to be running into that. And again, make sure that you do your due diligence when you're buying used appliances or you're buying used vehicles or anything used, because you don't want to get bamboozled where you're buying something and then 2 months down the line it breaks. Usually, most of these places that you buy used appliances, they give you at least a year warranty, maybe anywhere between 90 days to a year, in case something goes wrong. These are about $200 a piece. You can't go wrong with getting a nice white refrigerator for $200. Give it a good clean, and you got yourself something for cheap. That's what people are running to right now. Están limpias. 7,000 pesos. It's $360. Yes. Yeah. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys continue to subscribe. Again, we're going to continue to have good videos for you out in the future. Be on the lookout. Take care.